evening, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Omnibros Live on the Omnibus Collectors Network, where, twice a month we like to hijack this whole channel and talk some manga. So, welcome, everybody. I am joined by some awesome co hosts. I'll start introducing them right away. Right next to me, you've got the Omnibus Collector himself. Riley, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How are you today?
Doing okay. Could be better, but now that I'm here live with all of you, doing much better. Doing well.
I feel that.
And down below, one of my favorite persons on the YouTubes and the internet, my buddy Nelson, Sequential Comics. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Consequence. Why did I say comics? Sorry.
It makes sense. I mean, my name is very convoluted, and I kind of made it like that by default. It's
Sorry
by design.
that.
I also
So
don't have
you.
it down there. I don't know why I forgot, but whatever.
I threw out the good old bat signal, and you answered the call. Some other people were supposed to join, but last minute things, they couldn't. Maybe we'll see them next time on the next installment of Manga Bros, as our buddy Nick Munoz would point out here.
Next up on Manga Bros Z.
So tonight, I thought it'd be pretty cool if we named our favorite or our top choices for unlicensed manga that we would want to see picked up for the West, for a U.S. North American release. I thought that'd be pretty cool. When these do come out, of course, you can check them out at our wonderful sponsor. That is, of course, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected edition, whether it be a hardcover, an omnibus, trade paperback, manga, whatever it may be. If it's a collected edition, you got to InStockTrades.com. If you order more than $50, you get free shipping, fantastic customer service, and wonderful packaging at IST or InStockTrades.com. Also, look forward to the gift card giveaway at the end of the month, courtesy of InStockTrades.com. All right. So, thank you to the chat, of course. We got a new Omnidog in the Omnidog verse. We got butt clenching Omnidog. He debuted last Monday. Pretty excited about that.
So many Omnidog spin-offs. They're getting out of control.
There's a lot, man. I think all of them are jest, but I don't have the evidence to back that up. Gary Sandberg, thank you for joining. Jesse, it's weeb time. Sakura Darling, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Jesse, anyone read the new Berserk chapter? Thank you, Miura. I actually did. And I kind of wish I didn't read it because it ends in the worst possible cliffhanger of all time. And it just made me extra upset. I mean, we lost the mangaka. Now that I read the final chapter, I'm like, damn it. Why did it have to go out like that? It was a beautiful chapter. But no, I shouldn't have read it. Because now in my head, I've been thinking about it all day. Like, man, I wonder what can happen next, where the story would go. And then I'm sadly reminded, oh, there is no more. I mean, we don't know yet what the situation is with the Young Animal magazine and Studio Gaga and all that stuff. So, but for now, that's it. That's the final chapter. Did you read it, Nelson?
No, I'm actually not caught up. I actually did just start the Conviction arc yesterday. That's how far behind I am.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I took a break after Golden Age because I needed to process it, and then this happened, and then I didn't really want to read it,
Yeah.
But I felt ready yesterday. I felt like I needed it.
Well, when you get to it, it's a beautiful final chapter. It's just really frustrating because it's one of the biggest cliffhangers in the series so far.
They're like, this is the most brutal cliffhanger.
Yep, pretty much. Did you read it, Riley?
I'm still a few chapters behind. I've read through volume 40 and then a few of the chapters that came after, but I haven't read everything. So I was actually wanting to catch up today, but I was really busy throughout the day and didn't have a chance. But I will soon. I will really soon. And I think I'm thinking more and more that it's more and more likely there's going to be something continuing the story. As we go forth, it just seems Like the note that was put in Young Animal where they said like, because they didn't say this is it. They said like, we're sorry, we don't have any news to share about the future of the series.
Yeah, they just wanted to put out his final chapter.
Yeah.
Like, to
I
finish
think
what
if
he
the
was.
answer was no, they would say no right away. They would have said no in the first announcement.
Yeah, they would have like immediately been like, this is it. That's all we're gonna have. But they're leaving it open, and I really like. I always go back when I talk about it and when I think about it to the series Duranki, which is very clearly like he was preparing his studio. He was preparing Studio Gaga to be able to follow after him, using everything of his notes that he's left behind, and whatever that amounts in. If it amounts to like his notes being just put out there on their own, for us to absorb, or being used to create chapters themselves, or even just like some sort of like a light novel with some artwork provided by Gaga.
That's what
whatever.
I would. No,
I
that's
wouldn't
what I've
mind
been
that.
thinking they should do. A light
Just a-
novel or a novel itself.
I wouldn't even mind something like the ending of Opus, which Gio knows what I'm talking about, because that manga was never finished, and then they just kind of used Khan's sketches to finish it out.
Mhm.
And for the context of that manga, it worked really well. For Berserk, if I think people would still be happy just because it was genuine. It was like what he intended.
Yeah.
You know what would, and I haven't thought about this until this moment, but what if also it was animated? Like there's also that chance that like a studio could come in and use those notes to adapt an actual animated film or season to finish off the Fantasia Island.
Have all the arcs been adapted?
In anime?
Yeah, in anime, yeah.
The 2016 anime ended with the boat arc. Them getting on the boat.
Because
So-
I feel like now it's like, I feel like now there's got to be like a new adaptation that they're probably thinking of making, or
Yeah.
maybe with enough time they're going to make one, like a proper one where they actually go through from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a no-brainer.
That would require us to get a good Berserk anime. That's
It's kind
true.
of crazy we haven't. Like, you don't need anything too special. I mean, I guess some of those monsters are pretty crazy, but still, like,
I have been, and this is unrelated to our topic, but I just want to say it. I've been watching Fena the Pirate Princess, which is the new anime from Production IG that they created for Crunchyroll and Adult Swim. The art on that is insanely great. And for some reason, I was looking at the latest episode on the weekend. I'm like, man, I could watch a Berserk show by Production IG. I think they'd be a really good studio to animate it, especially what they're doing nowadays with Fena.
yeah, my friend says that's like the best ongoing right now.
Fena's amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. It's so much fun.
It's original, right? That's what
It's an original anime. Think like Pirates of the Caribbean, but less kooky, but in that sort of vibe.
I'm in. That's all I need to hear, honestly. You have
It's
me
a-
at Pirates.
It's alternative history, so it's in the 18th century, but there's a moving island, and the characters have a submarine. It's kind of wild, but I dig it. The art is just beautiful. It's one of those shows where every time you pause it, you're like, damn, that would make a really cool wallpaper.
Speaking of pirates, I'm gonna say the thing that I said in the group chat that will make people upset in our live stream.
Let me see that. Oh, I know what you mean. Go
So
for it.
how do I frame this? All right, so a lot of pirates in One Piece are based off of real life pirates, and Zoro was based off of a French pirate named Francois Lolonois, I believe.
Sure.
Spelled Lolonois, which some people are probably already getting where I'm going with this, but which means that not only was Viz right to call him Zolo, but it should actually be Lolonoa Zolo. That's how it should be translated.
Not one One Piece fan likes that idea.
No, I don't either. I just when I saw it, when I was like, oh man, I will never unthink this for the rest of my life. I have to go like shoot myself, jump off the roof or something for my sin. So yeah, Lolo Noah.
Lolo Noah.
Oh my god.
Ultimate Power says the studio that did Castlevania showed interest in animating Berserk. That would have been cool, but they're working on Devil May Cry. So maybe after that, they might want to tackle something like Berserk.
I forgot about that.
I remember I was like, didn't someone come up with like they made like a logo or something? I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it was. And when you said Devil May Cry, I was like, that's right, because was it Adi Shankar or whatever?
Something like that, yeah. He's a huge fanboy. Anyone based on Guybrush the Pirate?
Probably.
I don't know.
No, I know what you're talking about, but
okay. I bet Riley believes it should be NL2. Is that
no? That should be Eminem.
It should be Eminem. That's true.
That's Marshall Mathers. That's not. This is not just based on like little things. That's based on the pirate that the character is based on in real life, and the way that name is spelled means that the romanization of Roronoa should be Lolo Noah. That's what Oda was going for. I'm just speaking for him.
I saw like a huge picture like a couple years ago where it showed off all the inspiration for all the characters, and they're based on famous people from all around the world. I don't know if it was true or not, but it was pretty spot on. I can't remember. I can't find it right now. I'm looking. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Let me see. Oh, I found it. Never mind. Tell me, before we talk about unlicensed stuff, tell me if this is accurate. I'm not knowledgeable on One Piece, but you guys let me know. Can you see that?
Oh, damn, that's a lot.
Let me zoom in a little bit.
I think I've seen these before, and yeah, there's definitely some accuracy.
Jim Carrey.
I have no idea if this is all on purpose or just crazy coincidences. I mean, like Mankind.
Well, some of these for sure, like what's her name, or what's their name, Emporio.
Yeah.
And who else? Kizaru definitely.
And
I mean, obviously Eminem.
Yeah. Steven Tyler, Jim Carrey, twice. Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson. I mean, what the hell is happening in this show, man?
Well, you take inspiration from the life that is around you.
Yeah, even the Penguin from Batman Returns, or Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
On the bottom, it with Doflamingo, that's what's his name, Polnareff, Michel Polnareff.
Okay,
but I would say he's more based on Elton John.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
Personally, I would say that, especially because Polnareff has that very iconic long hair, and that's not emulated in Doflamingo's look. Doflamingo has short blonde hair, and he appears more like how Elton John did in his in like the 70s and 80s, when he had the big shapely sunglasses and stuff.
Most of these are spot on, though.
We got friggin' DMX. That's insane. Like, what the hell? Andre the Giant.
I haven't seen that character yet.
David Bowie, Arnold.
Yeah, some of these are very clearly inspired by some of these, but some of them are.
No, I'd imagine some of them are just for fun, that people are speculating, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So the topic, unlicensed manga. There's a lot of manga out there, especially if you count all the licenses that Viz Media and Kodansha mainly. I think those are the two biggest publishers, right? Or licensors, or however you say it, when it comes to North American releases,
Right.
compared to stuff like what's the other label? Oh my gosh, the one that puts out Kaiji. I forgot the name.
Oh, Denpa.
Denpa, thank you.
Denpa,
Stuff like Denpa.
One Piece, Seven Seas,
Yeah.
Yen Press. It's kind of mid-sized.
So there's a lot of manga out there in Japan. What are some of your favorites that you would like to see licensed stateside?
There's so many.
There's a lot. I made a list.
I could ramble off for it because this is something like these are the things that I literally think about on the daily. Like, I would love this, I would love that. And not only think about that, but also think about like how I would want to see it published, especially with longer titles. Like one of the first ones that I'll always talk about is going to be Hajime no Ippo. Like, it's just crazy that that series has not been licensed. The manga has not been licensed in the US. At this point, it's got like 125 volumes or something. So if it was licensed, it's going to take absolutely forever to be.
And I don't see it happening anytime soon while the factories are overloaded.
Yeah, that's also true. Like, well, the amount of new licenses that Viz has been doing is surprising considering that, but that is absolutely true.
I mean, Denpa has been having a hard time just like printing the volumes they meant to print like last year. Some of their titles got like really, really late.
Yeah, speaking of, Kaiji Volume 3 finally came out, but like I didn't realize that it finally came out and I didn't get my copy.
Oh.
So now I have to wait for it to come back.
We might have to wait a while too.
Maybe I'll find it at a Barnes & Noble.
I've been waiting for Heavenly Delusion Volume 2 for like 2 years now.
Ultimate Power says, for unlicensed Shonen Jump, Beelzebub, the reason why it wasn't because Baby Beal is nude, which could be easily censored. One of his
that was a thing in Dragon Ball too, though. I mean, I don't know the extent of it there, but
that's one of the things. Someone mentioned that, and that was my first reaction. Was like, that's kind of baloney because Goku was naked in Dragon Ball, and that's not the only instance that we've had naked babies in like Viz published manga. Like if I looked hard enough, I could find probably at least 2 or 3 other series that have naked babies. I think a lot of Rumiko Takahashi works have a bunch of naked babies and stuff,
and a lot of boobage action too.
She does nudity of all ages, all genders. You know, like naked old people in there and stuff. She don't care.
James says, Dead Tube, Homunculus, Liar Game, 3 Days of Happiness, to name a few.
Homunculus was in my list too, especially after Molly read it and she really liked it, and it was definitely on my list. It seems like it's a really good seinen.
That's one that like. So one of the things on TikTok, people just ask me all the time, like, do you have this? Do you have that? And if I have it, I'll show like, yeah, I have this. And then I'll give a little bit of information about my thoughts on it or something that happened in relation to it with me. And one that I get asked a lot is about Homunculus. And I always have to respond like there's not an English release. And a lot of people respond to that surprised. Like, oh my gosh, how is it not released? Like, it's one of the highest rated series, blah, blah, blah. How is it not released in English? I don't know. And it's not like
it's that long either. I don't remember how long it is, but I don't think it's that long.
10 volumes, I think. So it wouldn't be a hard series to release. It'd be pretty.
You could even do like 2-in-1s.
Yeah, like there's so many options. That one, and there's a few others that people ask. That one and was it Koko no Hito, the climber, is another one that comes up a lot.
I have heard of that. That seems a little bit more obscure, though.
Hugo says, Happy 2-in-1, Yawada 2-in-1, Hajime no Ippo regular, Kingdom Viz Big, that'd be cool. Shirley Kaoru Mori styled hardcover, Billy Bat 2-in-1, Dan soon the other works by the mangaka of In This Corner of the World.
Dawn of the Dead was top of my list. That was the first thing that came to mind, but there's no way that's not going to get picked up like as soon as there are a couple of volumes out.
Yeah,
like, that's going to get localized so quickly. Like,
it's already on the app, on the Shonen Jump stuff.
Yeah, like that manga is so good. It's probably one of my favorite ongoings.
Here's one that like let's get I'm gonna give the title, and if you wouldn't mind putting a picture up of it, Gio.
Yeah.
So we can show.
What's up?
It is let's see. Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko.
Yokohama what now?
Kaidashi, Kaidashi.
Oh, I see it. Let me pull up the little cover for volume. What I have some vague recollection of this manga. What is it about?
So this one, I haven't read it yet, but this is another one a lot of people asked me about, and asked if I had, and I had to keep saying again, there's no English release. A friend of mine read it and said that it was really great, and basically, if I'm not mistaken, she's a robot that is just going around the world and observing like the world where no one else is alive or something like that. I don't entirely remember the premise off the top of my head, but it sounded like a very relaxing series, a very like serotonin fueling relaxing series that you can just chill out and read. And this one, I very happened, just very chance, I found self-printed versions in English, and they should be delivered to me in the next couple days.
Oh, and you got them.
Yeah, I found them on
you
eBay.
moved on that fast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, someone like it was one of those like divine intervention type things where I was sitting there on the couch and I opened up eBay and I was like, I wonder, and I looked up self-print. I didn't even look up this series. I looked up self-print manga.
Yeah.
And just curious about like not even looking to buy anything, but like if anyone was selling anything. And there was a person that was selling like a bunch of different ones. And the first thing that was on their pictures was this series. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. So I reached out, how much are those books? It was like $50 for the set of the whole thing. And I was like, yeah. And their description, they were like, I'm not trying to make a buck off of these. Like I printed these myself and I just want to recoup the cost. So it was a 5-volume set. The original series is 14 volumes long. So it was like an omnibus edition set with like connecting spines and everything. And yeah, it looks really great. They look like they're slightly oversized, like signature size volumes. So when I get them, I'm going to be really excited. I'll show them off. But like, I now am like, my radar is out for like more self-print stuff to pop up, because I don't think I should be talking about it, but like the self-print manga Reddit is gone. Like they closed it. So
you have to, tread cautiously.
That's all.
I did find a brief description if you want me to read it from AniList. Yokohama is set in a post-apocalyptic. Rewind. Set in a post-apocalyptic Japan of the near future, where the sea level has risen and flooded much of the coastal areas of Mount Fuji, and Mount Fuji has erupted within living memory. The population has been considerably reduced, and political and technological institutions have broken down. Local communities have become nations, and telephone and TV no longer exist, although coffee vending machines and streetlights stubbornly continue to work. There are strange new animals and plants. The remaining people have adopted a slower-paced, simpler way of life and rely more on each other. Along with the human population are some intelligent humanoid robots. One of the robots is a female named Alpha, who runs a cafe by the same name in the countryside of what remains of Yokohama. With her trusty motor scooter and her camera, she travels around the area making friends with humans and robots, having new experiences and observing the passage of time. So there you go. That sounds really wholesome. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just by chance that happened to be on eBay at the time that I decided to search.
Yeah.
And that person's if you look up self-print manga, that person's listing is still up, and they have a few other things. I was tempted to get of the stuff that they have. They had one of the Tsutomu Nihei like short story collections, but I decided to pass on it. But I think it's still up.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Nelson, how about you? What you got?
Okay, I actually have one that I'm really, really shocked that it is not a thing yet. And this one's called Jagan with like 3 A's, but I think in the title they stylize it with a lot of A's. And as far as I know, this is like a horror cop procedural manga. And it has crazy art. Like the art is bizarre. It looks like something like Parasite, or where like their hands will morph into like these like monsters, and it looks amazing. Like the art looks crazy. And I think it's by the same guy who writes Blue Lock, I think, which is kind of a weird the fact that they're writing 2 very different things. But I think the artist is different. But it just looks
Blue Lock.
crazy. It looks so good. I know it's in Spanish also, but I think it's like 11 volumes deep right now. But this one, I'm just shocked that it has not been printed yet, because it looks really good, and based on how well Parasite, things like Junji Ito sell here, I'm kind of surprised that this is not a thing yet. Like I remember, like I kind of skimmed through the first chapter of it, and then I was like, you know what, this seems like something that I should actually wait to read on the page, because this art looks incredible, and just for the art alone, it seems worthwhile.
I mean, is this from the same? Oh, wait.
I could be wrong on the writer, but I think it's the same writer.
Yeah, I just checked. Muneyuki Kaneshiro.
Yep.
He is the writer for Blue Lock and a bunch of other stuff.
So, and I think this just got announced that it's ending soon, or that it ended soon, like recently.
Jagan! Lots of A's. What the hell?
That's another one I get asked about quite a bit, and when I say it's not in English, people are like, "What?" Because it's very highly regarded. And on that note, like, I'm surprised that we still don't have physical editions of Blue Lock. And I think in the same sentence, I can also talk about we don't have physical editions of Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that, yeah. Every time I remember that, I'm like, that's crazy. With how popular that series is in Japan, how popular the anime is here.
Yeah. And I think the digital editions are even doing really well in the US, but like sales of the manga in Japan are crazy. The fan base for the series in the US is entirely rabid, and like just wants to have the physical editions as soon as possible. And it's something where like people get upset about the fact that it's not available physically in English. They're like, people love this series, and they're like,
let me give you money.
Yeah, Kodansha, you're throwing money away basically by not doing this. And I strongly believe like it's going to happen. It's just, you know, there was, before the anime hit, there was no like real word on, like, there's no real proof that like, okay, well, Tokyo Revengers will be huge in the US, like we should go ahead and print it. And it was already like, I think now it has like 22 volumes, so but it, you know, it was already pretty long at the time that the anime began airing. And I think that with that, like, all of a sudden they start to see like, oh my gosh, like the fan base for this is huge, people love it, like we have to get this out. But it takes a little while to get those things going. Like, yeah, they have the license because they're doing it digitally, but like it takes a little while for them to push out the physical editions. And I feel like in the case of Tokyo Revengers, because of the fact that it's already been going for so long, they're probably going to give it the Vinland Saga treatment and do 2-in-1s, like hardcover releases, at least 2-in-1 paperbacks. But I think it's going to get a nicer type of release, because at this point, it's going to be like a prestige type of series. It's going to be a big one for them.
Yeah. And it also has a live action movie.
Oh.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Isn't Blue Lock like 14 volumes in as well?
Yeah, Blue Lock is a little while in, and then the anime starts this fall, or is it the spring?
It should be this fall, I think.
That one I'm surprised they didn't localize ASAP because I don't know, just because it's a sports anime, the art is incredible. Like the art is honestly
Oh,
the reason I might actually want to read it.
my bad. Spring
Every
2022.
well, maybe they'll get that one in time, like because there's already a like growing fan base for Blue Lock of the people who do read it digitally.
Isn't that on the Manga Plus app? I think it is.
I don't know. I'd have to look. But that one, I've heard so many good things. Like I enjoy sports manga already, and this one just looks just beyond crazy. Like it looks amazing.
No, I'm thinking of Blue Flag. Nope.
Oh, there's so many blue series. There's
Yeah,
like
there's a lot.
Blue Flag, Blue Lock, Blue Giant, Blue Period.
Blue Giant looks good too. I considered picking it up.
Blue Lock is very fun, and the art is phenomenal.
Yeah, the art looks good. When I see like a good amount of negative space on the page, I'm like, yeah, you got me.
Hugo says Kodansha has a lot of digital only. You got to keep in mind, digital licenses are a lot cheaper than physical releases. So you might want to own a series digitally and not take a huge hit on it if people don't get it or support it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm not saying that's going to happen with Revengers because I think Revengers will sell out. But imagine if Revengers weren't as good and they would release it and nobody would buy it, then they'd have to cancel it. A lot of wasted time and money and all that stuff. So that's why they sometimes license a lot of stuff digitally and they don't release them physically.
And especially for Kodansha stuff, now a lot of it is on Azuki.
Yeah. I still haven't tried that app because I hate the previews, but I haven't paid for a subscription yet.
They have a free trial, but I am a little disappointed they don't have the start of a lot of series, or they're missing like the middle of some series.
Yeah,
I tweeted them about it, and they were like, "Yeah, we're just trying to do the best we can. This is just what we can do," which is understandable. I get it.
What about this one? Also, I'm not a Boichi fan, but we don't have Sun Ken Rock or Origin in English.
Origin looks amazing. I saw someone post about it recently. It looks so good.
Yeah.
I know that Sunken Rock at the very least is available on the Manga Planet service. I think that's what it is, which is also, if that's the name of the service, that's also where what's the other the Inoue Space Jam by Takahiko Inoue, Buzzer Beater. That's
Buzzer
also,
Beater.
yeah, Buzzer Beater is on that one as well. That one's weird because like Manga Planet is not, the thing that sucks about that is they don't do physical. Like they are entirely digital. There are a few publishers that are entirely digital right now, and it's very aggravating because every time they announce like, oh, we've acquired the license to this, so now you can read it in English, I'm like, I don't give a crap about your English digital. Like if I'm being really frank, I could have done that illegally years ago. So it doesn't really appeal to me if they're a company like Manga Planet that just does not do physical at all.
Are they a subscription service, or do you have to buy the individual volumes?
I think it's a sub-service, but I only looked into it once they announced that they had Buzzer Beater. I sent them an email basically like, do you want to make money or something? Because like you have a lot of money sitting there that you could make. Like I'll help you. Do you want me to invest in you?
That happens whenever I think of the licenses the Dark Horse just has sitting around that they're not doing anything with.
Friggin' like MPD Psycho.
Oh my god,
Corpse Delivery Service, Eden It's an Endless World. That's just like off the top of my head. There's so many series that they did that just got like cut early. I've been focusing a lot on discontinued manga from like Viz and Shonen Jump, but like I could do a deep dive and find out all the Dark Horse stuff as well. And there's a lot that people would be pretty upset about.
Yeah. Let's see. What else have we got on our list?
I have one that I actually read. I read this so long ago, and I didn't read all of it, but I remember it being pretty cool. Seems kind of edgy. It's called Akumetsu, and it's about this I think it's a shonen. It's about this like I don't know if he's like a cop. I don't know, but he's like a vigilante who just goes around and like I think he just kills like.
Whoa,
it has kind of like a Death Note kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I read it, but I remember it being pretty cool. and I know it's pretty popular, or at least it was. Now it's kind of a little bit dated, but this is one that I know was super popular back in the day, and I'm surprised that it wasn't
Is it
licensed
this one?
at all. Let me see. Yep, that's the one. Yep.
That is pretty wild. He has like a Oni mask. or
Super
something.
edgy.
Cool. Nice.
Due to an economic downturn plaguing Japan, Shina Nagasawa decides to take up prostitution as a means to support her family, and her father goes bankrupt. To this end, she attends a party where the high-profile government members in attendance are all eager to satisfy their carnal desires. Okay, this is not where I thought this was going to go. As Shina degrades her... Okay, this is not what I thought I was going to be reading. I'm sorry, guys. Claiming to be Akumetsu, this guy interrogates Japan's former finance minister about all the evil deeds the other has committed. He then proceeds to brutally murder the man and drag his body to the lobby. When he is shot, he somehow blows his own head off afterward. Still in disbelief, Shina manages to go to school the next day, but in a shocking turn of events, the guy who just blew off his head is there to greet her in the classroom. How is he alive, and what does he intend to do next? So I have no idea what the hell that is about. I just remember that he kills people brutally, and then he like shoots his own head off or something like that. And then he's back or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
It just strikes me as one of those like vigilante manga, kind of like Death Note or Prophecy.
Yeah. You could see somebody like Seven Seas taking a gamble on it.
Definitely edgy stuff. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know I was going to be reading that.
It's
That's not what I thought it was about.
Let me take it in a completely different direction. And like, so after the video that I published on my channel last week about the discontinued Shonen Jump manga in the US, I have had a bunch of notes on my computer, and I've been going through them. And basically, that was the first in what will probably be a trilogy of videos. The next one is like discontinued series that are Shonen Jump or that are Jump manga in Japan, but were under other labels in the US. It's very hard to communicate in like a punchy way. And then the other one being like Shonen Jump titles that had the that did not have their sequels, spin-offs, and like preceding series ever published in English, and that would include like Ultimate Muscle or Kinnikuman, Prince of Tennis. The sequel to Prince of Tennis has never been released in English, and other things like that. And while I was like compiling some notes about these things recently, I remembered that, I mean, I actually have one of the volumes. I remembered some of the Dragon Ball spin-offs, and I looked into it a little bit more, and there's a lot of Dragon Ball spin-off material that we don't have in English, which is crazy because Dragon Ball is a license to print money, basically. Like, people buy Dragon Ball stuff
regardless of what it is.
So I'm going to run down this list for you guys of stuff that exists. So there's let's see, at the top of my list we have Dragon Ball Episode of Bardock, which is actually an alternate history follow-up to the Bardock Father of Goku storyline. Basically like Bardock doesn't get killed by Frieza or something like that. There's the Return of Son Goku and Friends, which is based on the OVA of the same name, which is like basically kind of a bridge between the end of Dragon Ball Z and the Battle of the Gods movie. And then this one's really surprising, but the Resurrection of Frieza manga has not been localized.
I didn't even know there was one. I thought that was like just a movie thing.
There's a 3-chapter adaptation, which I think adapts like some stuff before the movie and then the majority of the movie, and then it leaves off at some point. But it's never been released in the US. You can find like it's a single volume on eBay. Like the only ones I could find were like $40. I'm like, I don't feel like buying.
Is that kind of like the like My Hero chapters that tie into the movies? Is like that one of those things that he made after the movie, or was it just done before?
I think it was being released like around the same time that the movie was coming out in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like at least one chapter acted like a prequel. I read this and it's been a really long time, so don't quote me on any of it, but I believe that it was published before the movie came out, or as the movie came out, or right after the movie came out. Yeah, because they skipped Resurrection of Frieza, and they also skipped Broly in the manga. In the manga, they literally just mention that Broly happened, and then they move on from there. and they go into the Moro arc. Then there are the Dragon Ball Heroes manga. There's Victory Mission, which is by Toyotaro, who does the Super series. And then there's Dragon Ball Heroes Charisma Mission, which is the first in a line by Yoshitaka Nagayama. And Yoshitaka Nagayama did the rest of these series for Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Dark Demon Realm Mission, Ultimate Charisma Mission, Universe Mission, and Big Bang Mission. So this dude has 5 different adaptations from the Dragon Ball Heroes video games, and I've watched some of the anime adaptations for these things because there are like little 4-minute, 5-minute anime episodes, and it's basically like a Dragon Ball Z fan's fever dream of like presenting all these different characters that never existed, that like adult Gotenks is one of the things that pops up and stuff like that. That's the type of things that you get. Like I think they might have even done like a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta at some point. It's just like the best like fanfic type stuff, but it's animated, and the animation is actually decent. Like it's not bad. It's better than like early Super animation. So
I mean, after I heard there was something called Super Saiyan, I don't remember what the power level that is like Super Saiyan, something Super Saiyan. Fanfic may as well be more grounded than that. Like,
yeah, no, for real. But I would love to see those actually released in English. All those Super Dragon Ball Heroes released in English, because the ideas are fun. Yeah, it's not like hugely substantial. It's basically just like if you took every, and I know some people are like, well, there is no plot to Dragon Ball. But if you took the actual plot that is in any of the Dragon Ball series out and just had only the fights, that's all it is. It's just fight. Then there are other adaptations. That's not it. There's other video game adaptations. Dragon Ball Discross Jinryoku God Max, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the manga. I don't think there's a Xenoverse 1 manga. Dragon Ball Fusions manga. Despo Fighter Z, which is like, I think it's like kids in school who play Dragon Ball Fighters or Fighter Z, and it's like a manga about play the game.
Yeah, I believe you.
And then there are some spin-off gag manga. This one I'm really surprised has not been released in English, and that's Nekomajin. The Nekomajin series actually has like tied directly into the series itself, having like crossover with some characters that appear throughout Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and even introduces a new Saiyan named Unyo, like Onion, who's like a short, pudgy Saiyan. And then there's a series that was like a Ginyu Force gag spinoff called New Gadget Super Lovers.
That sounds awesome.
They basically get really excited about like new technology and talk about it. And then there's an ongoing Dragon Ball Super Deformed series, which basically is just chibi versions of all the characters, retelling all of the arcs from Dragon Ball Z. So yeah,
I think especially some of that gag stuff has a chance to be licensed now that we're getting the short story Akira Toriyama hardcover that's coming out.
Yeah.
It has a better shot nowadays because they could easily do a volume 2 of that and include some of that stuff in there, I think.
And Dr. Slump and Reincarnated as Yamcha, I'm pretty sure those have sold pretty well too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm surprised how much stuff there is. That's a lot of stuff.
Like
there is
look, we have
I like how he came around the other side.
There's more precedents. Like we have the gag manga for My Hero Academia Smash, and we also have the Chibi Sasuke Sharingan Legend.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
So I love that you own them.
There are like spin-offs of other series that Viz has done that they've released. I think that it's not outside of this reality to assume that we might have like basically the Dragon Ball version of this released in English. But yeah, and then speaking of like the short story collection, there's also the Jaco the Galactic Patrolman manga was released years ago, and that ties directly into Dragon Ball. And there are also, I didn't know about this, but there's another volume that's part of the Galactic Patrol series that features a story about the character Jia and then a story about the character Sachie-chan. So basically a shared volume about these two other Galactic Patrol members that tie into the Dragon Ball universe. So there's a literal treasure trove of Dragon Ball material that could be released that they're sleeping on. Some of it probably wouldn't be super successful. I don't care about Despo Fighter Z being released in English, whatever. But it would be super fun to see some of these other things released in English. And I have one of them. I'll be right back again.
Especially with how slow super releases, it would be a nice buffer between volumes.
Oh yeah.
And now it would maybe drive up excitement for the franchise as a whole.
What is the manga that Toriyama did about it's about a little demon. I can't remember the name of it. It's an old manga from the late 90s.
Jocko?
No. I'm trying to look at his works here to see if I can spot it. What was that?
Is it Kajika?
Kajika, thank you. Yes. Was that ever released or
no?
Or licensed?
I think that one had a video game actually, or no?
Yeah, I remember the multimedia for that. Yep.
But yeah, so I have this Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Mission volume. So this is an example of like we have friggin' Ultra Instinct Goku just chilling on the cover alongside Golden Cooler and other characters.
Golden Cooler, I love that name.
Oolong up here with the undies on his head, of course.
Oh my god.
We look at the actual. Let me get a good page. Like the artwork is not exactly Toriyama, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
Like it's not as close as like Toyotaro's work, but
it would sell well.
It looks good. It looks good enough that like, yeah, this could sell, and it's all action.
Yeah,
it's just like, look, it's freaking blowing this dude
Damn.
up.
The
like,
branding by itself, it's gonna sell. If you put that out there, people will buy it.
Like you tell people like, hey, look, it's a new Dragon Ball manga. They're gonna what? Like, because this is something like I didn't know existed until like I don't know when. This is like a new Saiyan. He's mean. He looks like Bane. He's got a mask on. He's mean. I don't remember his name, but he is mean. I tell you that. Nice. It even came with a card that I haven't opened, just like those volumes of like Yu-Gi-Oh manga that come with a card.
I assume that's for the arcade game, right?
You
can use it on the arcade or something like that.
We've got like the cold people here, all the cold buddies from the series. Do they have a species name? Frieza and Cooler, like ice.
I can look that up. I'm pretty sure somebody made it up. What species is Frieza?
Probably called household appliances.
That'd be funny. Changelings.
Changelings. That's the lamest thing.
Changelings are a species of reptilianoid sapient aliens. The changelings are a mysterious race, and not much is known about their origins, although they may originate from a homeworld known as Winter. Hey.
Okay, there we go.
The main known changeling, Frieza's family, are employed under the Planet Trade Organization. That's pretty.
Wait, they're employed?
Apparently, that's from the some Dragon Ball wiki page.
I thought he was like from a royal family or something.
They are royal.
I feel like I remember that.
But like, who's saying they're employed? That's I don't remember them having an employer. Like, who's their beneficiary then if they're employed? Like, is there?
Imagine them in like in a suit.
Yeah, is there some dude on Planet Winter or whatever that's like supporting them financially to like eradicate the Saiyans?
Well, I got it from a humanoid wiki page about Dragon Ball, and apparently Frieza's family, they're employed under the Planet Trade Organization, which they also run. I have no idea.
So they also run okay, I think they're like self-employed is what it sounds like. Is this like the Trade Federation from Star Wars?
Maybe. I mean, look at these guys.
So
that's the only picture I found of all of them together. Who's the one in the middle?
Oh, I just saw that he's from one of the one of the games. I don't remember.
Okay.
I think he was in Budokai 3.
It's like it's probably something like Slushy. I don't recall.
Chill, is that really his name? I don't know if
Oh yeah, Chill. Chiller.
Is it Chill, really?
I don't know. That's what Nalem said in chat.
Oh,
Yeah, Chill.
I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but so does Cooler and Freezer. So
Chill is Frieza's ancestor and the space pirate general of Chilled's army. He is the main antagonist of Dragon Ball episode of Bardock.
There's
I don't
also
remember any of that.
Let's see, Kuriza, which is supposed to be a pun on the word for chestnut, and he's from the Nekomajin series. So that's what I was saying before. Like the Nekomajin series introduces a lot of different characters like that.
Well, now we got to do an episode on Dragon Ball because I don't remember any of this. The episode of Bardock, is that the same one from? That's a different one, right? Not the original OVA. We're not talking about the OVA, right?
The follow-up.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that or read it or whatever.
Remember when Viz decided to change Vegito's name to Vegerat?
I remember that. That didn't work out so well.
Because they were like, oh, it's Vegeta and Kakarot, so it's Vegerat.
Remember to eat your Vegerat, kids. So, aside from Dragon Ball, I do have a pick of my own. You guys have picked some excellent manga. I got something that's popular anime-wise. I really don't understand why it hasn't picked up yet. And that is, let me pull up the picture here. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. The anime has been fantastic. It is currently on its second season, closing out in like 2 weeks or something like that as of this video. I think this would be a smash hit, especially after the success of a series like My Hero Academia. It really does channel those vibes, but it's more comedic oriented with demons in the demon realm. I think it would sell really well. I think a lot of people would be excited to own Iruma-kun physically and not necessarily just watch it on streaming.
yeah,
Have you guys checked out Iruma-kun?
Like 7C's picking this up because it has similar vibes to like what's that series called? Spirit Circle. Like it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that with the art style. If you guys watching don't know what this series is about, basically Iruma is a human, 14-year-old, and he gets his parents are jerks, and they sell off his kid to a demon for riches. And the demon that gets Iruma wants to adopt him as his own family, and because he's always wanted to be a grandfather. And so he adopts him as his grandkid, and it turns out that he's the principal of the school in the demon realm for all the young demons to study and all that stuff and graduate and become like full-fledged demons and whatnot. So they have to hide the fact that he's human. So he enlists in the school. I was going to say infiltrate. He goes into the school and he's disguised. Everybody thinks he's a demon, and he eventually befriends all these characters, and his class is sort of like Deku's class, where they really stand out, and you have all the misfits and all the extraordinary abilities and all the superpowered people in that class. So it's more like the comedic version of My Hero Academia, except without superpowers. It's more demons and comedy. I think it would do really well. I really enjoy the show.
I've got to say, I really like this new trend of comedy shonens, or just really wacky shonens that are like off the wall.
Yeah. Sheik says Iruma-kun is basically a wholesome Rosario vampire. I could see that. Yeah, that's true.
When you were talking about it, it did remind me of Rosario Vampire.
Yeah. The anime is, the art style is a little bit different from the manga, but there's a lot of chapters. I think the series currently has 20-something volumes or close to 30 volumes, something crazy like that. But I could see, like Nelson said, I could see somebody like 7C's picking that up and making quite a splash for that title, because the anime is doing pretty well on streaming.
Well, let me take some words out of your mouth that you haven't said yet, Gio, and just say Metroid.
Come on, my man. Yes. I forgot about that.
Wait, there's a Metroid manga?
Yes, they
Pull
published
up-
one back in the day as an unofficial, but later
real.
became official backstory for Samus.
Get some put some images up because people need to be hype about this. It looks great. If you wouldn't mind putting the images up.
Yeah. I just got to tread carefully because there are some weird people on Google. Yeah, especially
You
on
don't want
eBay.
a certain type of
Don't try Googling Metroid manga on eBay. You're gonna get some weird results. But it's just a damn shame, and I always say it on these streams. You got Kirby manga, you got Splatoon manga, you got Super Mario, you've got Zelda, you've got Animal Crossing, you have what else is out there? Nintendo wise,
of course.
Pokemon, yes. Where's my Metroid? It's only 2 volumes, I think, so it's not like a huge commitment or anything. But here's some of the art from the manga.
Nintendo is so weird about Metroid in general.
I mean, look! Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, look at this sexy thing. Hold up! Look at this art. And I don't mean it because it's Samus. I'm just talking about the art style. Look at that.
It does. It reminds me of if you remember like the ending scene pictures that you'd get when you beat Fusion.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at this. Our boy Ridley here.
Oh man. So what this is like supposed to be her origin? Was that it?
It goes into her origin with the Chozo and all that stuff. The manga provides early history on the series. Chapter 1 details with Samus's childhood, including how she got acquainted with the Chozo and how the space pirates destroyed her home. Chapter 2 details on how the Chozo trained Samus on their planet and introduces Mother Brain as a Chozo computer. So it's only 2 volumes.
I'm not too familiar with Metroid, but do they ever like mention that at all?
Somewhat in especially in the Prime and Fusion touches on that a little bit, but mostly the Prime.
Prime, because like you find all the artifacts and you can scan stuff and it gives you information behind everything. So there's like when you see like Chozo statues and stuff in Prime, if I remember correctly, there were times where she'd like have logs about like being trained by the Chozo when she was younger and stuff like that. So there is like I guess a little bit comparable to like the Dark Souls games where they like string the lore throughout for you to find, but it's not like right there for you.
Here's a cover
It seems
for
like it would be a good
1.
idea for them to release it with the new game.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
it looks like the suit from Super Metroid.
I love that style.
Oh, no, it's not going to open. Damn it. Come on. Anyhow, yeah. It's just weird that all the other properties have had their books licensed.
Was there a manga in Nintendo or a comic in Nintendo Power for Metroid like there was for Zelda and Mario?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Like a
I
full
think I remember that. Didn't that come out here even?
I
There's
think
a bunch. Let me show you a quick
I have a
slideshow.
very vague memory of that.
because they could totally put that as well. Like
I think that was it. That doesn't look as good though.
This was a comedy series, but I don't remember when it was released. And I'm looking to see if I found the other one. Where is it? Because they had the Nintendo Power stuff. They made a comic book adaptation, Dark Horse, out of the Prime trilogy. They made the Metroid manga. And there was something else that they made. What was it? They adapted something else from one of the games. I can't remember.
So the Nintendo Power one was a Super Metroid adaptation.
Yeah.
And it, like, I'm looking at it. I just looked it up on Google. Like, it looks fantastic. It reminds me obviously of the Shotaro Ishinomori Zelda series that they did in Nintendo Power. Like, full color magazine size panels or pages.
There's this website that has the info on the manga. Metroid made its manga debut in 1986. It was produced by Wanpaku Comics as a children's manga.
Wait, what's the name of that publisher?
Wanpaku Comics.
One Pack?
Wanpaku.
Not two pack, one pack.
Wanpak, yeah. WANPAKK
Okay.
Comics. So that came out in 86. And what's funny about that is that at the time they didn't know about Samus's gender. So they think it's a dude. And the famous panel says, "You're our hero. Go for it, Samus," with two girls in bikinis fawning over Samus, thinking it's a dude. Or not. They could know. They could have known
just
that.
very forward.
Yeah.
They were ahead of their time.
Famitsu Comics in 89 and Shonen O in 94 came out with some Metroid comics, or manga, I guess. And then Tamakichi Sakura, the artist who would later draw the Super Mario Adventure comics, worked on spoof comics for Metroid in 1994. Samus and Joey came out in 2002, which is the one I just highlighted. That was.
Why does Joey sound familiar?
That's from a defunct children's monthly manga magazine called Comic Bomb Bomb, and that came out in 2002. Features an original storyline separate from the game's canon, where a young boy named Joey dreams of becoming a strong man like his late father. When a band of space pirates raid his village, Joey tries to defend his home, but is ultimately saved by the legendary Samus. And then Metroid had the manga that we're talking about in 2003. That served as the official canon prequel to Zero Mission, the Game Boy Advance title. There was a brief manga set in the Metroid Prime games, and that's about it. But the two volumes with the backstory, I think that has the best chance of being collected, or the Nintendo Power stuff. I think. Poor Metroid, even in manga, it gets ignored. Yes. I mean, I'm a fan of Metroid, I'm a fan of the Inhumans, and I'm a fan of Aquaman. There's a running thread throughout those three franchises. Just saying.
I feel like maybe you should stop liking things.
Underrated.
On the bright side, usually they have quality stories. All of those. Usually.
Oh,
At the very least, Metroid is not F-Zero. That's all I'll say.
that's true.
I have seen this panel. This panel has made the rounds online. I remember this.
Did you know that F-Zero they were asking the developers to make a new one for the Switch, and they're like, it's too complicated to make a new one for the Switch. So everybody was like, oh, I guess we're just gonna give up then.
Why? It's a racing game.
It's
That's
not
like one of
that
the
hard.
first things you learn when you learn programming. Says the guy who knows very little about programming.
I mean, they've been making clones of it in the new game that came out, Game Garage, I think it's called, where you create your own game. Have you seen that video game for the Switch?
I have not seen that, but I think I remember you posting about it.
Switch Game Garage. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I remember seeing
Game Builder Garage. That's the name. So you learn programming and code work and all that stuff in a very simplified manner, and you can make your own games. So of course, people have already made like F-Zero clones on that.
I like this trend of making games that make other games, like Dreams, which is very slept on. Like people also make like all kinds of like knockoff games in Dreams. Like someone made like a whole like Avatar game, or they're still making like a whole Avatar game in Dreams.
Yeah.
So the last F-Zero game that was released was only in Japan. It was F-Zero Climax in 2004.
For what system?
Damn, it's been
GameCube?
that long? Holy crap!
It was for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh wow.
And then before that, we did have in 2003 was GX for the GameCube and GP Legend for the Game Boy Advance. GP Legend, I think, was based off of the anime of F-Zero.
Yeah, that anime was fun. I like that. Did they make any F-Zero manga? Because I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Let's see.
I'm surprised there aren't more racing manga now that I think about it.
Here's the art from the Nintendo Power magazines.
Damn, those colors
comic.
are nice.
Yeah, if they put out like a magazine-sized comic of this, I'd be in heaven. Yes, please. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I don't think it had a manga. There was just the 51 episode F-Zero anime.
I remember, I think 4Kids had it back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The dub.
Kids.
It was out, I think, around the same time that the Kirby Right Back Atcha series was on the air.
Mm-hmm. So that would be 2002, I think, or 2003, something like that. Off subject. Did you all see that Candy Flurry might be canceled? What? Posted the series could be ending with chapter 20. I've only read like 9 chapters of that.
Yeah, I think I read like 5 chapters, and it was all right. I
I
the
liked
art
it.
more than I like the story.
I like it. But it's not something I want to read right away. It's not one of those it didn't hook me where I want to continue going at a rapid pace to consume everything. I'm like, yeah, I'll let it simmer for a bit. Basically futuristic speed racer. Yeah.
I'm like 2-3 months behind on all the Weekly Shonen Jump titles right now, except for One Piece. So I haven't been keeping up, but I really enjoyed the way that Candy Flurry started, and then I felt like it very soon went into territory of just typical.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I felt about it, and that's kind of why I was like, well, I'll just wait and see what happens with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm good you did that, because I think the latest My Hero chapters would read better as a group.
Well, I'm not caught up on that at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's probably a good thing for you.
Yeah, especially because Volume 29, which just came out, there's 6+ months until Volume 30 comes out in the US. So if any time, now would be the best time for myself and others to catch up on the app.
Wow, we're actually not that far behind at all.
Well, Japan,
only a couple of volumes, I think.
Yeah, Japan is very slow with their releases of the volumes.
Wait, what series? Sorry, I was looking at something.
My Hero.
My Hero, yeah, we're right up there with them on.
Yeah, I think they're on Japanese 33 or something, and I'm not sure if that even came out already or if it was just.
They have.
That's why Volume 30 got pushed all the way to March of next year, stateside.
So yeah, because they were coming out really frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Volume 30 came out in Japan this April. Yep. 31 came out in August. And then Volume 32 is scheduled in Japan for October. And they have chapters 307 through 324 have not yet been collected. And that would be the stuff that's going to be in 32 and basically 32 and 33.
And to answer that question, yes. Supposedly.
Good. Because I want to.
Apparently it's in its last arc. What last arc means, I don't know. I don't really know.
Oh,
it seems like it's gearing towards it. I think all the pieces are being set up.
Look what I found.
And it might end 5.
Apparently there was an F-Zero manga.
Oh, was it in one of the guides or something?
Yeah.
They used to include stuff like that in a lot of the games. I think a Zelda game had one.
F-Zero, the story of Captain Falcon. Apparently you can read all of it here.
He looks like such a dad.
I shall win to honor beautiful women everywhere.
This
is no game. My ass is on the line. I hate losing to any driver whose blood is red. Now you'll learn how men do battle.
So ridiculous. Oh, man.
I think you can make a manga out of this and make it like funny and somewhat serious. Samurai Goron, right? That's his name?
Goro, yeah.
Goro. Yeah, there's that. I do have another release that I was going to talk about. I need to read the plot description because my memory's a little bit fuzzy tonight. The manga that I would like to see brought to bookshelves is Kemono Jihen. I don't know if you guys know about this one.
I've seen this a lot. I don't know much about it, but I've seen this, and the art is always looked really clean. It kind of looks like the Blue Lock art, where it's just super clean.
This had an anime adaptation this year, early January. It stars the character of Kohachi Inugami, who is sent to investigate this phenomenon in rural Japan in a remote mountain village. And after meeting this strange kid who has this little like amulet thing, does he have it here? No, he doesn't have it there. He has this amulet that protects him from spirits and all that stuff. You find out that he's basically an immortal yokai, and he lost his parents. So the detective takes a liking to the kid and promises to find his parents, to find the mystery behind their disappearance or possible death. So he enlists the kid to his detective agency in Tokyo, and all the other members are young yokai-esque kids with special abilities. The detective himself turns out to be a tanuki in disguise. So it's really fun. It has a lot of comedic elements and a lot of creepy things with the yokai and folklore and all that stuff. And I think it could be a good manga to release that people would be interested in buying, especially with the anime.
I feel like that would definitely sell.
Yeah. And the anime was only 12 episodes. It lasted for one season. I don't know if it's going to get a second season, but I do recommend watching. It's fun. The main character at one point gets his head blown off, but he regenerates, so that's always good. But yeah, Kemono Jihen, that would be my other pick. What about you guys? Any other picks before we?
I do have one that I'm just really surprised that none of his work has been localized until now. One of his books is actually coming out in like 6 days, I think, or something really soon, and that's Keiichi Koike's work. He does a lot of really trippy manga. Like he has one manga where it's like each chapter is like a 52 panel page or something like that, and it's kind of crazy. And he has something a collection of short stories coming out like next week called Heaven's Door. But he's most famous for writing something called Ultra Heaven, which is like this like weird dystopian like future where everyone's like a drug addict or something, and the main character is like hates that society and like the people that made it that way, but he's also a drug addict that's always looking for like, I don't know, to reach higher highs. And so he takes this drug called Ultra Heaven, and basically every volume is one chapter, and he's just kind of like tripping out. And the art is crazy. Like if you pull up any sort of like spreads from the manga, they're just incredible. Like this guy's art is insane. He's very creative, just a very good cartoonist in general. And Ultra Heaven is not done. It's like just 3 volumes, but it's not done. And I don't know what's up with that. But it's crazy. And I'm really happy that we're getting Heaven's Door, because that art just needs to be on the page. Like it's just kind of like his art is incredible. Like look at that. Like that's some like Shintaro Kago levels of art without nasty stuff in there. But like, oh man, that just needs to be localized for sure. Like I don't even care that it's not done. Like that is just crazy. But hey, we're getting something there, and I think it's being published by Last Gasp, which is a publisher that I don't remember what they published. I think I have one of their books. I think Panorama Island is from them.
This looks.
Like, I don't know how that would sell because it seems kind of niche, but
I think it would do well in the niche market, in the indie scene.
Even in the Gekiga market. Like I don't think it's Gekiga, but
like along with all the
somebody colored it. Damn.
Stuff that Fantagraphics publishes.
It would fit right in their wheelhouse.
Wow. Interesting. Jesse says Golgo 13.
You know, I was actually looking at Golgo 13 Golgo 13 yesterday. And I have a couple of Golgo 13. I was trying to avoid any like discontinued things or things that were partially published, but I do have a couple of Golgo 13 books that are going to be coming pretty soon in the mail. But they're ones that I didn't know existed. Like I knew that I think Viz had published a series of like 10 volumes or something. But there were like in the 80s, I think the late 80s, there was a two issue set. And then in the early 90s, Viz did a 3-issue set of their like Viz Select Premiere format stuff.
I remember seeing some Go-Go 13 books like used bookstores and stuff, but it was always like really random volumes.
I think they, excuse me, I think they would rather, I think they would benefit if they did like the, is it Seven Seas that puts out the classic hardcovers for older series?
Yeah,
Like-
actually it is.
Like Devilman and all that stuff?
Yeah, it is them, yeah.
I think a format like that would work for Golgo. I know it's a long series, but I think
Yeah, I
it
was just about to look up how long it is, but
Oh, it's long as hell.
like isn't that it's like Hajime no Hippo long, right?
It is like
I can't really find how long it is.
it's over 200 volumes.
Oof. Jeez.
Yeah. They would probably do like the Lupin release that's coming out where it's greatest hits or something like that.
Damn.
That's one of the reasons why I didn't really touch on that one, or like I don't really touch on it, is because of the fact that it's such a long series that I doubt that anyone's going to want to try and touch it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that people have to keep in mind. It's a classic for sure, and I know it has many fans, but I don't know if it would sell well in today's market compared to other stuff that's being published.
And like even if they did, like let's say 3-in-1 releases, it'd be more than 60 volumes
No,
of 3-in-1.
I don't think the demand is there for something like that.
Just translating something like that would take so much work.
Yeah.
I also want to see more Daisuke Garashi stuff, the mangaka for Children of the Sea. I know they just announced Witches is getting a localization, but he has a lot more work, and I think they're all pretty short and sweet. And I think his work would sell pretty well for people who like that kind of stuff.
I can't wait for Witches. That looks amazing.
It looks really good, yeah. And I like that it's being released all in one volume too.
It's like
Also,
flying-
Inio Asano's unpublished stuff, like those are all like one volume. It would be so easy for them to just print it,
Yeah.
especially while DDD is on hiatus.
Is that ending anytime soon? I think you
I
mentioned,
don't
but it's
know.
ending, right?
Riley might be more ahead than I am.
I think
I'm only a couple volumes in because it's the only Asano I have left to read.
I think there was information that it was ending. Like it was supposed to end this year.
Like I can't see it going on much longer. Like his longest series is Poon Poon, and that was 13, 14 volumes or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't really see it going on for much longer. He seems like he would finish it soon. Oh, Ben Drake mentioned Holy Land. That also seems like really good. That and Kingdom seem like something that definitely needs to be localized as well.
Kingdom.
I can hear Kong's ghost somewhere going like,
Yeah. I mean, I love that people go in like, Kingdom, do Kingdom next, and they don't do it. And people get so upset on Twitter. I'm like, it'll happen eventually, guys. They know about these things. It's not like they're deaf and blind and don't know about X or Y title that's super famous. It's just a matter of time until they get the rights and they pay for that stuff because it's expensive. And I'm pretty sure it'll sell. Well, hopefully it sells well. I don't know. Is Baki not printed either?
It's not, right?
There
Forget
are
about
there are a few volumes.
Mm.
So under the Gutsoon Entertainment line, which did Raijin Comics, they released a small amount. I don't remember how many volumes, but they did release a few volumes of Baki before they went under. And now Baki belongs to a company called Media Do International, which is one of those digital-only publishers.
That sucks. I
It
mean,
did.
good for them, but that sucks.
I mean, I feel like if it gets officially translated online, at least that's probably more likely to get a physical print. At least you would think so. I'm not sure how that works though.
What about this? What about that battle manga with all kinds of mythical historical figures?
Are you talking about the one that's written by not written but drawn by Arakawa? Is that the one? No, because that's published here though. That's localized.
I think that's Record of Ragnarok is what they might be mentioning.
Ragnarok comes out in January, the first volume.
Yeah.
And it already has volume 2 solicited as well.
Nice. Some of the things I would mention here, like Welcome Back Alice, also got solicited.
That's coming out too. Yep.
Yeah.
From 7 Seas, I think. Somebody? I don't know.
I don't know, actually.
Was it 7 Seas or Kodansha or somebody like that?
I don't know.
Because we talked about it on one of our streams, but I don't remember.
Oh, I think it might be Vertical because they're putting out Blood on the Tracks, so it might be Vertical.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
I think it is Vertical because I remember it being on one of the Kodansha streams. I gotta go though, so I'm gonna.
All right, so let's wrap it up. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to our wonderful sponsor. That is, of course, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your favorite collected editions, all your manga, omnibus, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, all that fun stuff. If you want comics, if you want manga, go to InStockTrades.com, our wonderful sponsor. And Sequential Consequence, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me exactly at Sequential Consequence here on YouTube, but I haven't posted anything in like 6 months, so I'll probably post something soon. I've accumulated books over there that I should probably do a haul on.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. And Omnibus Collector, how about yourself?
Omnibus Collector on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram and Omni Collector on Twitter. I should have a haul video up probably tomorrow if I can get it edited in time. And I haven't counted, but I think that I have hit or am about to hit 3,000 volumes of manga in my collection. So I should do another library tour at that.
Update, like an update video?
A celebratory video.
Hell yeah. As for myself, you can find me on my channel at We Can Geekdom, talking about anime, comics, manga, all that, whatever. I just put out a video, if you guys want to check it out, where I'm going through different anime, recommending it to people. If you want to see 3 short anime series, I got some recommendations, so go check that out. If not, that's all right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back Monday for hauls, previews, and reads, and then Wednesday for our news and Q&A, and then next Thursday for a comic topic. So that's the agenda for Omnibros. The next video that you'll see on this channel will be Sunday, hopefully. That will be Fangirls Assemble. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to the chat. You guys are wonderful as always. God bless. Stay safe out there. Catch you on the next video next Monday. Bye, everybody.